Finding Dory is the latest CG animated adventure from Pixar Studios. It was directed by Andrew Stanton and stars the voice talents of Ellen DeGeneres, Albert Brooks, and Ed O'Neill. Picking up a year later from the original Finding Nemo, this film centers around the supporting character Dory, the blue tang fish who suffers from short-term memory loss. Dory starts having some flashbacks from when she was a child and starts remembering her parents, who she decides that she wants to go and look for. With the help of Marlin and Nemo, they travel all the way over to California, where they discover some clues that will eventually lead to the finding of Dory's parents. Now, it's quite often said that Hollywood is being a little starved of ideas these days and relying on sequels, reboots, and remakes. And I have actually noticed so many of the films I've been reviewing lately have been sequels. I'm often starting my reviews with, in the original such and such, this happened, and so now this happens. But I tell you what, when a sequel is this good, of this sort of quality, I say go for it. Despite how much time has passed in between the two movies, they really cranked out a fantastic adventure. Not only was the script great, but it was gorgeous to look at. All the characters and everything were beautifully rendered. It was such a colourful, vibrant movie. And they also managed to do a good job of keeping it kind of fresh from the original. It wasn't just a rehash of what we've already seen. This story revolved around a lot of flashbacks from Dory's childhood, which helped her to piece together clues on how to find her parents. There are a lot of really great supporting characters once again, particularly Hank the Octopus, voiced by Ed O'Neill. And the film, as with a lot of Disney animated stories, had a lot of themes going on. There were themes of friendship and family and how sometimes those two can be one and the same thing. And one particular theme that I often hold dear to my own life, in that if there's something that you want to do but you don't think you can do it, there's always a way. If you put your mind to something, you can achieve whatever it is you set out to do. Aside from the stunning visuals, there was also a lot of great music and sound design in the movie. The score was fantastic and really hammered home a lot of the emotional beats of the film. The film was also quite funny, as you would imagine, and also had some quite tender moments that, kind of tugged the heartstrings a little. Didn't quite achieve it as much as the opening scene of Up did. I mean, let's face it, who can get through the opening of Up without bawling their eyes out? Not this guy. But there were some quite touching moments nonetheless. Now, it wasn't a perfect film. There were some moments in the flick that I thought happened a little bit conveniently, particularly, I guess, what was the climax of the film, which I can't say too much because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but something happened that was just kind of, not explained very well. It just sort of happened. It was a little bit rushed. And another little thing that I gotta sort of nitpick, but in a movie like this where your main characters are primarily fish, I realize it's got to be such a challenge from getting them from one place to the other. Being that water is obviously necessary, but sometimes you don't have water and you still need to get them somewhere. I mean, the film, it did come up with some quite clever ways of getting our characters where they needed to be, but it went into a scene where we wound up having Hank the Octopus and Dory driving a truck. And I just thought that was stretching it a little bit. I know we're talking about a movie that has talking fish, etc., but at the same time, you sort of, there's a limit, guys. There's a limit. And a truck driving octopus didn't really work too well for me. I guess the only other minor thing is that the characters didn't really change throughout the film. I mean, a good story is where your characters are different to who they were at the start. Dory, I guess, did have a few things that happened, but Marlin and Nemo, I didn't think they were developed very well throughout the story. As much as I'd love to tell you what the 3D was like, I didn't get to see it in 3D because there's just hardly any 3D screenings of this film, and I had to pick a 2D session, which really sucked because I'm watching this film thinking to myself, oh man, this would look so good in 3D, but I don't know. So if you can see it in 3D, I'd probably recommend it because I could tell that it would have looked good, but I guess I won't know. And guys, make sure you stick around till the end of the credits. There's a great scene after the credits which ties into the story of some other characters from the first one that we didn't really see what happened. So yeah, definitely stick around till after the credits, because yeah, it's worth it. So despite a couple of flaws, it's definitely worth checking out. Not quite as good as the first one, but it was almost on par. I'm going to give Finding Dory an 8 out of 10. So a big thanks to everybody for subscribing to my channel. I'm still keen for more subscribers, so if you haven't hit that button yet, make sure you do it and keep up to date with all of my movie reviews. In the meantime, if you've seen Finding Dory, I'd love to know what you thought of it. Drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. My Facebook link is down below in the description, because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Hey you there. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Click subscribe. You see the big word up the top that says subscribe? Well, click on it. Click on it now. Do it. Yeah.